Salute everybody. Salute, salute, salute. I am so sorry about the inconvenience, you guys, with the lives and stuff. I do apologize, okay? I had the lives totally mixed up. I meant to do the Kim Porter tomorrow, just so I can have my wine and relax. It's my down day. I've been super busy this week and I scheduled everything wrong and backwards. I thought I had this for the 5th and the Kim Porter for the 6th, but I fixed it and I do apologize. I seen everybody over there. I was like, no, come over here. But salute to everybody that was over there for that one. I thought maybe I should save that one for the last day of the week, which is Friday. Um, for me, anyway. But yeah, sorry about the inconvenience. Sorry about the changing of arrangements. But the Epstein files it's been so controversial. And this is not the first time we're hearing about the Epstein files. We've been hearing about the Epstein files for quite some time, you guys. Quite some time. Have the Epstein files kept coming up. People want to know what is in them, and they were so hidden. And I see why now that these files was hidden forever, and it was for exposure. It was for. We wonder why these. Hey y'all, sorry about the mix up. Sorry about the mix up, guys. Sorry about the mix up. Let me turn this phone down. Let me see. I had a mix up, guys. Charge it to my jury today, okay? Not my heart for the mix up, okay? Copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, and is also used for educational purposes. Hey Big Mama, hey T, what's going on? Hey T. Hey Will, what up, bro? What up, Leisure? Dale, hey. Lola, hey girl, hey Annie, hey Sherry, hey. What's going on? No, y'all wasn't tripping. Thank you, Leisure, for keeping your green jacket for 7 months. Thank you. Yeah, I thought I'd say the Kim Porter for Friday. I meant to switch it up. And I'm looking at the time. I kept looking. I was like, why is it saying 2 o'clock? Like it's almost 2 versus up here on the StreamYard it'll tell you it's starting to count down. I was like, something is wrong. So I noticed that I did not schedule it correctly. Did y'all see the meeting Rena Dromom had today with the commissioner? I am going to touch on that. I am her. I'm going to, as soon as I finish up with this one, I want to touch on that a little bit. Hey, Erica, what's going on? Hey, girl, hey. Happy Thursday to you guys. I didn't get to say happy Wednesday, I don't think yesterday. Happy hump day, but happy Wednesday to you guys. Hey, goddess. We keep wondering why the predators are being protected. Thank you, Big Mama. Thank you for grabbing your green jacket. We wondering why the predators are being protected. That's because the higher up predators have been protecting each other for years. And one of the biggest predator protectors is our president, Donald Trump. Hey, Tanika, what's going on? Is our predator Donald Trump. He actually did a press conference and said, hey, let's leave the Epstein files alone and let's move on. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate you. Thank you, Tanika. Yeah, he said, let's leave the Epstein files alone. Let's move along. Why does he want us to move along so quick past what we're seeing with these children? And it's very disgusting. These files are very heartbreaking. They're disturbing. Hey, Didi, what's going on? Happy Thursday, love. Um, the names that the stories I've seen in the names, such as Jamie Foxx. And Jamie Foxx, you have a daughter. You get what I'm saying? You have a daughter yourself. But I want to get into this video. Why Donald Trump refuses to allow these. In the redactions, I get with the names and stuff like that, but everything else is so vile, and it's disturbing. Hey, Diamond, what's going on? Jay-Z, absolutely. The judges, the senators, the politicians. These are people that communities are going to vote for worldwide, and they're predators. The same thing that we are up against and we hate so much. There are senators, there are judges, there are lawyers, they're entertainers. Hey, Royal News, what's going on? So, isn't that disturbing? See, they don't want us to look at them. They want us to keep focusing on Diddy, all these different distractions. He's starting wars and he's doing all of this to keep his name from coming up. He doesn't want to be held accountable for the things he did. He doesn't want to be held accountable for the young lady that told Donald Trump to wear protection. All right, Shano, what's going on? Y'all drop Royal News TV. Please drop Shano's link for me. That's why he wants us to move on. He doesn't want to hear how disgusting he was with these children. Begging for him to wear protection. They don't want to be pregnant and he smacks them and throws money and says, get an abortion. The same man that's against immigrants, the same man that's against transgender, the same man that is trying to bring down the LGBT community. See, when you are fighting your own demons, when you're fighting your own demons, everything he stands against is him, besides pedophilia. Y'all notice that Donald Trump doesn't say anything about pedophilia. He's focusing on the color of people's skin, where they're from. But, like I said, it's public record, every one of those men that went up there and started that Capitol riot all have pedophilia charges, dirty, disgusting pedophilia charges. Let's get to this video, and I'm going to read one of the, we'll get into one of those 5.
Coming up.
Get there, and I'm all sweaty in running shorts.
Donald Trump walks in,
Hovering.
and smirking like a Cheshire grin.
The president and the pedophile.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
He's been dead for 6 years.
Trump supporters see Jeffrey Epstein as the devil.
But billionaire Jeffrey Epstein...
We need to release the Epstein list.
I call it the Epstein hoax.
...continues to haunt Donald Trump.
Trump really seems to be hiding something.
That's next on 60 Minutes. No matter the ultimate outcome of Donald Trump's face-to-face dialogue with Vladimir Putin in Alaska, just getting the meeting to happen is a significant achievement for the US president. It's clear Trump is not without talents. On his home front, he's been particularly adept in his ability to endure scandal. In the last 5 years, the president's faced 91 felony counts, 4 criminal indictments, 2 impeachment trials, and in a civil case, has been found liable for sexual abuse.
Now, y'all we can't even get away with 1 felony count. The American people that pay taxes in, because don't forget, he didn't pay his taxes. So the American people that do pay their tax money in, we can't get away with a ticket. We have to pay extra money out, don't we? We can't get away with a misdemeanor. If we steal a soda, we have to pay the consequences, don't we? They don't just say, hey, go home, don't do it again. Or don't they lock you up and that's on your record? Child abuse and child neglect is on your record for 7 years, and you still have to go through steps to get that removed. But this is the man that's running the country. This orange man is running the country, and he's running a very powerful pedophilia organization. Very powerful. Chick Simple Lady, you hear me? Hey, Young. Hey, Valerie. Shout out to y'all. Happy Thursday. All of this, what are we doing? Why 2 impeachments? And I don't know if y'all know what impeachments is, but that's not just a sweep under the rug. And then everybody that's seen wrong in this situation, with the sexual allegations and everything, is now being deemed felons. They're being deemed as felons. Hey, Julie. They're in court battling charges that they don't even have. Things that they didn't do, they're battling that because he wants to protect this sex trafficking ring that was happening on Epstein Island. That's why he's trying to make it where he's the last president elected, because he know once he stepped down, he going down, they definitely gonna have him. What's taking so long, TT? Hey, Kiki. Happy Thursday. Seems like they sending the messages. As long as they got power, you can get away with anything.
Yet last November, a majority of Americans still voted for him to lead them. Now, though, there are chinks in Trump's armour. The reason is his bumpy handling of the so-called Epstein files, evidence that may or may not exist about the powerful connections of America's most despised pedophile, the now dead billionaire, Jeffrey Epstein.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
He said he's got to do the 5th, 6th, 14th Amendments. Thank you, Will. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. The devil has power, but it can't compare to the Lord's power. The dumb era is the era of exposure. They think they'll get away with it, but that ain't gonna. He didn't want to answer that now. Because Donald Trump, you said different. You said that you and him never had a personal relationship. When we see the pictures, the thumbnails. Not only in these files are y'all going to see pedophilia, y'all going to see them. I mean, hell, who really was Epstein? They're sharing disclosures of what's going on in other countries, wars developing. As if he was the man. He was very powerful. Whatever Jeffrey Epstein was doing, you guys, I must say, he was very, very powerful and influential to some powerful men. It's even Elon Musk. Elon Musk was in a whole nother country, and Jeffrey Epstein said to Elon Musk in one of those files, well, I thought you wanted to come and have a little fun, a little excitement. Elon Musk said, okay, I can leave 2 days early to get over to that island. Yeah. To get over to that island to enjoy the fruits of young women's labor, sexually, physically. Yeah. And these parents that sold their children off to Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, I'm so disgusted with where's the accountability for the parents. The red rum Epstein, he knew too much. He was gonna tell it, James. His back was against the wall. Everything has come out full throttle. The man said, let's move on, because as we see, he's not in the file, sir. Who?
It's the question that has consumed Washington, D.C. and the world for weeks. Just what was Donald Trump's relationship with the disgraced Jeffrey Epstein? And how much does the president know about the depraved world created by the pedophile financier?
Are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
A billionaire accused of child sex trafficking.
Are we still talking about this creep? See, it's easy because Jeffrey Epstein's no longer here. He's no longer here. To hear Donald Trump say all these vile things, because he wasn't a creep when y'all was doing creepy shit together. No. Jeffrey Epstein was very much the man. The man that your lawyer, Wolf, even went to and was given personal information to. Now he's a creep. Y'all still talking about this creep? You're in there, sir. You're sure in that creep's ear, whispering and laughing. I wonder if this is what made him so comfortable with his own daughter, sitting on his lap, kissing. The picture's out there, so it's not alleged. The videos are there. How she seemed so much more happier than your own wife that doesn't speak the American language. Let's start there. Someone said they were not interested in children. Thank God. Who said that? Who said that, SP? Because it's a sure a lot of names. Let me read one of them. Caller reported that in 1987, the friend, Victim 1, was out drinking, ended up at Trump Plaza. Victim 1 said Donald Trump wanted to meet him. An unknown man approached her and offered to introduce her to Trump. The unknown man gave Victim 1 a drink, and Victim 1 woke up naked and sore with $300 on the bed. Victim 1 a drink and Victim 1 woke up naked. So let me see. Victim 1 didn't remember how she got to the room. She remembered seeing a flash of Trump's face. Victim 1 called the caller and told her she thought she had been raped. Victim 1 did not go to the hospital to have a rape kit performed because she didn't think anyone would believe her, especially because she was drunk. Victim 1's husband's business had problems with suppliers. Victim 1 believed Trump was behind it. Victim 1 also started dating a lawyer, identifiers unknown, who was married. Victim 1 had a fight with her lawyer boyfriend and went to a bar. Victim 1 left a bar with a man who with no one in the bar recognized, but who seemed familiar with Victim 1. Victim 1 was never seen again. A few years ago, remains were discovered that matched the description of Victim 1 wearing when she went missing. DNA tests at the time were inconclusive. In 2004 and 2005, Sir Ivan Wilczek hosted a party where Jeffrey Epstein, Sammy Sosa, and Donald Trump were in attendance. Patti LaBelle's PR agent stood at the door at the party. Caller met an individual who was approximately 18 to 23 years of age, who was bought from Oklahoma for a modeling job. Hold on, you guys. I got to knock at the door. 1 second. Can we not leave the door open? Okay. Yep, it's right here. Yes. And he's coming. He's got the pictures of everything. Thank you. Oh, what's going on, man? Hey, I'm broadcasting. I just asked if they shut the door. I'm sorry. No, you're fine. Do you need me for anything or you're good? All right. I apologize, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience. But let me get back to this. So Patti LaBelle's PR agent stood at the door. At the party, caller met an individual who was approximately 18 to 23 years of age, who was bought from Oklahoma for a modeling job, but then sold to a man in France. Several women were being auctioned. Several women, you guys, were being auctioned. We wondering where the missing kids are going, right? All these kids in New York. Thank you, Latasha. Hey, Betty, sis. All these kids being auctioned, you guys. And we don't think for 1 second with Nicki Minaj having that outburst about what they're doing to children in other countries, bringing them over here, that our missing children aren't a part of this ring, you are out of your mind. And they said several women were being auctioned, and a woman possibly known as Colette LNU was the madam. A couple of years later, callers saw Colette at the Cheetah Club in New York, and she told one of the Santos friends that Jamie Foxx was interested in spending the night with her and that he could pay her a lot of money. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx. He told Coletta the madam he wanted to spend the night with her. This is one of the girls that have been auctioned off. And they're being auctioned off and put into these different places, these different establishments where the elites are, not where one of us would go to, where the elites go. Yeah. Auntie Fee, I know you're over there covering Donald Trump heavy. How do you feel about these Epstein files that are out here with these names and these disgusting things being said? Thank you, TT. Yeah, Jamie Foxx wanted to spend the night, and he said that he could pay her a lot of money. Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Let me get to this one. Hold on, guys. Let me get to these other transcripts. It's so many. Y'all, they've been doing this for years. They have been doing this for years. When I say years, years. Give me a second to get to these other files. I got so many. And I want to read what Donald Trump has said too. Jeffrey Epstein, who was charged by the Trump Justice Department in 2019, and he quotes, Donald Trump quotes, yes, the Auntie Fee, very disgusting. Hey, Mama Kim, what's going on? He put in quotation, not the Democrats, was a lifelong Democrat, donated thousands of dollars to Democrat politicians. It was set in a place like that. Hey, Corey Boo. Y'all gotta think this is a letter from Donald Trump. It was set up like that. So he couldn't have affiliations. Nothing would ever come back to the Republican Party. You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't come back to the Republican Party, even though Bill Gates was one of those that was always at the Epstein Island. Which now he puts Hillary, who at this point, Hillary, I gotta say, you've known about your husband. This is another secondhand embarrassment in front of America with Bill Clinton. Because we can't forget Monica Lewinsky, correct? Y'all see how the Monica Lewinsky thing came up and was swept right under the rug? She was planted in Bill Clinton's face just like Marilyn Monroe was with JFK. And it's crazy how he became the president. He knew about that situation with Marilyn Monroe. Secret society, devil worshiping, okay? You see how Nicki Minaj is coming out saying that now, Auntie Fee. After meeting with Donald Trump. Donald Trump refuses to go down by himself, so he's got Nicki Minaj doing his dirty work in the industry. For people that, once attended the Epstein Island or, the Diddy parties. Which I must say, it kind of goes into the smaller people like the Kim Worthless with the Naziah Harris case that was once attached to Diddy. See, they have their pawns, you guys. These big people have small people that they can go to. Absolutely, she knew. Absolutely, she knew. He said he donated thousands of dollars to the Democrat politicians and was deeply associated with many well-known Democrat figures, such as Bill Clinton, who traveled on his plane 28 times. See, Donald Trump's quick to point out anything that the Democratic Party has done. She's definitely Erica, definitely an industry plant. Melania, too. I absolutely, Auntie Fee. Absolutely. Hillary knew all the way back before Monica. Yes, she did. But you see how Bill Clinton is throwing, Donald Trump is throwing Bill Clinton under. He don't want us to talk about the Epstein files, but he wrote this. They trying to cut me out. They trying to stop me from talking. Yeah. Donald Trump's the one who wrote this. He doesn't want us to talk about the Epstein files, but yet he knows how many times Bill Clinton been over there. He said 28 times. Larry Summers, who just resigned from many boards, including Harvard, sleazebag, political activist, Reid Hoffman, minority leader Hakeem Jeffries, who asked Epstein to donate his campaign after Epstein was charged. This is from Donald Trump. This is from Donald Trump. Hey, Justice for Meeks, happy Thursday. Trump is the worst. But Auntie Fee, he's throwing he don't want us talking about the files, but yet he's sure throwing every Democrat in this letter. He goes on to say, after he got charged, Democrat Congressman Stacey Plaskett and many more. Perhaps the truths about these Democrats and their associations with Jeffrey Epstein will soon be revealed, because I've just signed a bill to release the Epstein files. Hell, it took them forever to make them do that. Now he wants us to move past because we know about the Democrats. Let's talk about the Republicans and let's talk about these celebrities, such as Jay-Z, such as the Jamie Foxx. And Beyonce, your ass knows too, because let me tell y'all something. He throwing it each and every way. Let me tell y'all something. Hey, Lady Nell, what's going on? Ain't a man in America, I don't care how much money they got. And I heard that on the news or read it in a magazine. It's on the cover of a newspaper that a man that I'm messing with, laying up with, have children with, is being talked about with underage girls. I'm not saving face or anything. Say whoever made that shit up, that you have to save face and it looks good for a camera or TV. That shit's a lie. That shit sounds good, don't it? Get on the camera, smile, make it like everything in your house is going fine, and you know that y'all are gonna fight these charges and y'all against it, and it's all made up allegations. They still haven't released all of them, about 3.5 million more. Come on, Latasha. Look how what you just said. The number of documents. That's why they don't want the Clintons to talk in person. It will confirm a lot of information that's been released already. But why are the Clintons the only one? One thing I can say that Hillary will do, that bitch will step up and face the smoke. Regardless how bad it make her look. Hey, Dr. Doc, what's going on? Hey, intentionally. 600 Republicans in files, about 5 Democrats so far. Do the math. Come on, Auntie. It's crazy how Donald Trump wrote this up to even put their names out and said how somebody wanted him to donate to their campaign after being, after he was being charged. Well, he was still having contact with a lot of people up until he was charged. Oh, yeah. I heard about it, Justice for Meeks. I know the crazy thing about this. It's a clip I'm going to play about that. It's a clip. It's a clip from The Simpsons. And The Simpsons are out of control talking about this virus. They're all sick, talking about this virus that just won't never go away, and how many people's gonna die. A lot of people's gonna die, and this virus will never be cured. True, Hillary will step up. Yeah, she's gonna make his ass face that smoke. Not hiding anything anymore. They're all gonna be exposed. God said this is spiritual warfare. Yeah, I'm gonna play it after, before I get done with this. He said, "I've just signed a bill to release the Epstein files. It took you long enough." As everyone knows, I asked Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune to pass the bill in the House and Senate respectively. Because of this request, the votes were almost unanimous in favor of passage. At my direction, the Department of Justice has already turned over the closed 50,000 pages of documents. Hell, 50,000? This 50,000 pages of documents, y'all. With majority of these pages, child porn, sexual acts with children, young ladies being pregnant, you guys. Because when y'all go and read, off the topic, but we're twins. Today I have my pink two-piece. Okay, no. The young girl that wrote the scripted, coded journal, her shit's so sad once they break it down for you over there, because it's very coded about having that baby, all from our so-called leaders. Yeah, that's why Donald Trump let all those men that rioted that Capitol go free. Every one of those men, I'd never seen. Where did he get these men from to all have pedophilia on their backgrounds? One of them has sodomy and everything. A couple of them do. Hillary involved too. She's standing up to defend him and protect their trafficking foundation. Absolutely. All these foundations that they have, that's for trafficking children. Seen a lot of pictures. They're disgusting. He said, they turned over 50 pages. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Now he's Democratic Epstein, baby. He said they turned over the 50,000 pages of documents to Congress. Don't forget the Biden administration did not turn over one single file or page related to Democrat Epstein. Y'all, Epstein wasn't no Democrat. Epstein wasn't even a Republican. Epstein was a man of power. And he had his hands into everything. And when I say everything, everything. His contact list, yes. Years of it, years. We can't forget Virginia. We can't forget poor Virginia, where it all started. RIP to her. Because just like Jeffrey, they did the same thing to Virginia Giuffre. Yes, they did. I'm a Christian. I'm 62. My mother told me when I was not even a teenager, the wrath is here. They have done enough to God's children. It's over. She talked about Prince Edward and how aggressive he was when he was essaying her. Prince Edward, y'all. You know, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, Prince Edward. And all of a sudden, the cover is wild. Let's go, Miss Park. I'm just saying, dude, for a look. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Trump said he never dealt with the man like that. But he said he did. And then when they asked about the kids underage, he said, I would like to use my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights. But I thought Donald Trump said different. Why isn't Donald Trump in the hot seat for these pictures and everything that's coming up. And y'all know the victims. Have you seen Rummy Carter, twin brother? Where is he? Let's go, Auntie Fee. I think Prince Edward got kicked. He did. They just kicked him out. Wasn't it last year, James? I think it was the end of last year, toward the middle or end of last year. They done stripped Prince of all his powers, yeah. But look how long it took. Virginia been dead, y'all. Talking about suicide. That girl wasn't suicidal. That girl didn't bring all them girls together. Put all this information out to say, okay, job's done. Let me take myself out. She had children of her own. Her husband ended up being disgusting to her. I think he murdered because he knew that she was ready to come into a big lawsuit based off of everything that she had put out there. I never trusted him. Never. But let's play a little bit more, see what they have to say, and then we'll get into another.
Epstein was connected to some of the most powerful people in the world. And despite their friendship, the president has long positioned himself as the man capable of exposing Jeffrey Epstein's darkest secrets.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah.
But a few weeks ago, after months of teasing a release of the case files, the Trump administration unexpectedly backflipped.
A review from the Justice Department and FBI did not find any evidence that notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein kept a so-called client list.
The fallout has spiraled into a...
I thought Trump said people be doing fake news. Yeah, Auntie Fee. Epstein was able to destroy every, if he wanted to, one or the other, in my opinion. Hey, Stephanie. I'm just saying, I thought that Trump be talking to CNN, the journalists, and, the news people when they there doing conferences with him, that they do fake news. He just said nothing this man just sat there and said nothing in the Epstein files shows anything. What? Oh, it definitely is a client list in there. When I'm seeing names like Jamie Foxx, Donald Trump, Wolf, Bill Clinton, absolutely. I don't need a witness list. That's enough. Their names are in the actual files. And then when our black people get on top, what they do, they enslave their own people. The white man will never let us get on top, but they sold their souls for money. Fake news when it's about him. Auntie Fee, I can't believe it. But hey, I guess to each his own.
A full-blown political scandal. Trump, for once, can't seem to shake. At the heart of it, friendship between the president and the pedophile. Is the president happens?
Thank you.
Yes. In DC.
See, money can buy clothes, materialistic shit. But they always take what they can't have. They'll take a soul, an innocent soul. Yeah. You can go buy any woman, prostitute, women, you know what I'm saying, grown women. But their fetish is always children. Even in other countries, how they married. And I showed that a while back, maybe 2 months ago. I was over here with Max Boogie, and we was talking about how in the other countries they want to marry a 7 and 8 year old girl. Now Donald Trump gets involved in all this shit that ain't got nothing to do with us, but they'll never speak on these countries marrying these 8-year-old girls. He way over there worrying about oil. No, let's talk about these predators. Let's talk about these girls being pregnant at 9 and 10 years old in those other countries. Since we're so invested in what happens in other countries. But you know, you can't involve yourself in shit that you're into too, which is children, correct? You can't involve yourself in something that is just like you. It'll be hypocritical. Something about a 14-year-old girl leaked about Trump when he ran the first time, but I think it was scrubbed and it has been said that girl went missing. I just read one where they was talking about one of the victims did come up missing and they did find remains, and that it's awful coincidental and funny that it came back not her. It came back inconclusive to take their innocent power and control over the kids. He can't talk about himself, okay? He can't talk about himself.
It's where Maria Farmer has built a quiet life for herself after she was abused by Jeffrey Epstein for herself.
Now, y'all,
Yes.
why the screen going like that?
Is a long way from Washington, D.C.
Hold on, y'all. Let me see.
These
Okay.
people. Since becoming president, Donald Trump has done everything in his power to distance himself from the billionaire financier and his vile crimes.
I had a falling out with him a long time ago. I don't think I've spoken to him for 15 years. I wasn't a fan.
But for Maria, there can be no doubting the depth of their relationship.
He ain't talked to him in 15 years. They had a falling out, but you ain't a fan of somebody. Every video, you're in his ear just a smiling and laughing. If you ain't a fan of mine, we ain't got no business talking. Correct? See, you can't distance yourself from your past. Okay? That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to distance himself from what happened with Jeffrey Epstein. He's trying to distance himself from all these accusations. You very much talked to him in the 15 years, sir. You very much inappropriately had interactions with children within that time, sir. And that old Byrne looked like he's going to be just like him. Like he's training him to be just like him. This is why Maureen Comey was fired behind Diddy trial, because her next case was Florida, including Trump Epstein. That's the one I want to hear about. The girls down there in Florida. Auntie Fee. That's what I want to hear about. What you say? He'll probably got him on the live. Hey girl, Dad cooking, what's going on? I'm just saying. Donald Trump, what has he said truthful? Being honest. Y'all think somebody as powerful as him is gonna come and say he touched the kids, that he was involved with this man? Because he was very much involved of going over there and partying when he would get those emails and have those cryptic emails with his team hitting up Epstein. He want to talk about Bill Clinton them going over 28 times. You was over there many a times. And see, you had your own places of business. You had Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, Florida's tied to them kids. Yeah, that's where it started. See, Bill Clinton ain't got all the establishments that Donald Trump got. They got all these secluded places for those reasons, Auntie Fee. Because then one of the girls in Florida, did she come up missing? One of the girls in Florida too? Auntie Fee, ain't that one of the girls was missing? He took it out.
Epstein said he was his best friend. He just said, that's my best friend.
Maria was in her early 20s when she was hired and abused by Jeffrey Epstein in the mid-1990s. During that time, she witnessed firsthand how close her boss was to Donald Trump.
Epstein said when Trump and his wife divorced, Ivana, he said, I inherited Trump and Ghislaine inherited Ivana. And so you'll see Ivana at the house a lot and you'll see Trump at the offices, but the twain will never cross. They'll never meet.
It was in Epstein's Manhattan office that Maria claims she had a disturbing encounter with the now president.
First time I met him was the night before I started this, and I was like, it's 9 o'clock at night, and I guess I'll just run up there. And he said, okay. So I get there, and I'm all sweaty in running shorts. Donald Trump walks in, and he was really strange, and he stood, hovering and smirking, like all-knowing, like omniscient grin, like a Cheshire grin. So I went. I made I don't know, it was just an instinct. I made the ugliest face I could think of. And Epstein thought it was adorable. He walked out and he goes, oh, no, Maria, no, she's not here for you. Just like that. He emphasized, she's not here for you. He goes, come with me. And
she's not here for you. Bodies buried on golf course. They selling island and resort brothels. Been doing it for years. Been doing it for years, Auntie Fee. Been doing it for years. And even our own melanated men are included. Now, what the Trumps are going to say, I don't know. But if they want to save themselves, I very much think that they should go ahead and say what it is and what it wasn't. We don't need Epstein anymore to say what it was because we got the files. They're trying to redact so much. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Kelly. Auntie Fee, they're trying to really cover up this truth. They're trying to cover up what happened to these girls. And it's sad and it's sick. So who's for him then? She said that Epstein said, oh, Donald, no, this one's not for you.
he escorts Trump. So here's Epstein's part. He escorts Trump into this other room. And Trump utters under his breath, he mutters, oh, I thought she was 16. And I thought that was just really weird. Like it was beyond locker room talk.
Maria says she never saw Trump behave inappropriately, and the White House has contested her version of events.
He said, oh, I thought she was 16. Selling body parts to McDonald's, avoid missing kids. They've been saying for years, you guys, when the burgers contain DNA, they have tested the meat. All you have to do if you work in a clinic, test the McDonald's meat. See the things we eat, and we wonder why we stay sick when we go out to eat. Eating human flesh, eating the flesh of humans. I've been listening while multitasking, okay? And if anybody has any input, y'all can come up. Y'all welcome to come up with me. I just thought this was very influential to share.
Insisting the president never visited Epstein's offices. So when the White House says Donald Trump was never at Jeffrey Epstein's offices, is the president lying?
Oh, my heavens, yes. Yes, he's lying. Yes.
The friendship between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein is well documented. For nearly 2 decades, they were well known as men about town. One, a notorious property developer, the other, a wealthy financier. They were often seen together at parties and events from New York to Florida. Trump was a passenger on Epstein's private jet, both alone and with his family. Epstein was even a guest at Trump's wedding to Marla Maples. And in 2002, he described Jeffrey Epstein as a terrific guy, telling a journalist that his friend was a lot of fun to be with and that he liked beautiful women, men.
I thought he just said he's a creep. Habitual liars at best, Auntie Fee. I thought he just said he was a creep when we just got into the beginning of the video. He called Epstein a creep. And he wasn't a fan of his. He talked about the 28 times that Bill Clinton caught the jet over there, but did you forget your sexual escapades? It's funny how we'll throw somebody else under the bus, but we won't talk about our shit. Oh, he's way worse than Hefner. Hell, Auntie Fee, that's why I said we talking about Diddy. Hell, Hugh was doing all the girls for years. Had the biggest Playboy Bunny parties with them young girls and stuff. Kendra and them was young, but nobody said a word. But we want to get on here and talk about Diddy and R. Kelly and hold. They'll hold our men to the cross. I'm not saying it ain't right. But what about them? Is it a difference with pedophiles? Because I thought a pedophile was a pedophile. I didn't know it was a difference. Pay attention. It is time to open our eyes to see this is where our tax dollars are going. Our tax dollars are going for cover up of pedophilia. It ain't going to fix the potholes, the street lights, add street lights, put surveillance cameras where they need to be to bring down crime and catch crime in our cities and communities. Our tax dollars goes for cover-ups. It pays for cover-ups. And getting away with it too. Won't let out of jail. Girl, no, not at all. Our tax dollars goes for lies. It goes to protect the liars. Yeah. Them wanting kids has less to do with sexual desire for them, but control. Absolutely, Nunu. Absolutely control over the children.
Many on the younger side. But behind the glamorous facade, Jeffrey Epstein was a monster. By 2006, he had been exposed as a pedophile.
Yes, ma'am.
Convicted of child sex trafficking.
Hey, Auntie Fee.
But
hey, Precious, I'm sorry.
You up here, Auntie Fee?
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was going to stay in the comment, but when you said that about our taxpaying dollars, I had a whole meltdown yesterday, twice on the phone with my investment advisor when I asked him about, how much is going to the government. I had a whole meltdown because I don't want a dime, not even a penny of my money going to the government to fund this bull crap, this bull unaliving kids. They have whole farms. They have human hunting. They are doing beat downs, unalivings. They have meetings. The men have meetings where they'll come just to unalive kids as a sport. And one thing about Sasha Riley's story, I believed it right off the bat. But when he talked about how when he would show up, how the different men would move like he was God or something, and he would he was big on unaliving. He went to functions where it wasn't that type of meeting. So that's why he would unalive animals. Epstein said that Trump is the worst. Sasha Riley said Epstein was a worker.
Absolutely.
Trump was the leader. And this right here is in Trump's lineage. His granddaddy.
Absolutely.
During the gold mine. And it's funny, even with because you do know the creating the COVID with Gates is in the Epstein files.
Absolutely. I was so disturbed I
Uh-huh.
was so disturbed when I read
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
I was gonna do it on another part, but go ahead, Auntie Fee. Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, it's just so much. And once I start, Tasha, once I start the research and I go in. And this is so disturbing to me. It is extremely disturbing with the aping,
Mm,
the unalive. So all those kids that used to be on the milk cartons, oh my God, it goes so far back as that.
mm-hmm.
That's how they were selling the kids that had been snatched.
Mm.
The milk cartons,
Go ahead,
the
Auntie Fee.
the post office. That was advertisement. Oh my God, it is just horrible. And let's be clear that when Trump tried to act like he didn't know anything about a pandemic, that's how his granddaddy died. The brothel, the brothel, real estate. There's a pattern. The immigrants being deported, that's trafficking. The
Yes,
600 undocumented kids, is trafficking. The New World Order, the new Gaza, the pro-Israel, they are trying to build a new trafficking, free labor. Yeah, we got to stay woke. But I came up here to say this. I don't want I am so close. I just don't want to add to what they're doing. I don't care how much my money contributes. Our money has contributed to a lot of this because we pay taxes.
yes.
And then the person who is one of the head leaders don't pay taxes.
Mm.
He don't pay taxes. That's
At
why
all.
he in trouble. That's why he in trouble now. Because he don't pay taxes. But he's using taxpayer dollars to unalive. I mean, I'm not going to say it was anybody in my family, but our kids, the people in the U.S. kids.
Yeah. Straight up.
We're paying for that. We paying for that. So when I have people who come in my chat, acting like they support him, you don't know him and you don't know what you're supporting.
Mm.
You have no earthly idea what you are supporting if you find any justification in him. And I am so sorry. I am so sorry. The more I learn, the more my heart aches. And it don't matter what color they are. It don't matter what side they're on. It's not even about that, because truth be told, Trump was a Democrat.
Mm. Let's go.
He only became a Republican so that he could run for office. Because in his mind, he said they are easy to manipulate, easy to lie to, because they're all about money. That is the reason why he switched over. And another reason why he hates God's chosen, the golden ones, the bronze ones, the darker end of the 50 shades of brown, because we all are brown. Just some lighter than others. They come from us. We didn't come from them. Let's be clear.
Okay. Let's go, Auntie Fee.
Yeah. So you despise the darker shade because you do know we chosen. You do know we smart. You know we are rich. You know we came that way. That's why you stole from us. That's why you need to whitewash. We ain't never tried to blackwash y'all, but y'all always tried to whitewash the darker shade of brown. Because you know you come from us. Because we royal. Yeah. I just want to say that, Tasha. My feelings are so hurt. My feelings are hurt for people I do not know.
I know.
But there's no way you can say that you know the Lord and he heard your cry and he is none of that. If we don't have empathy for people we do not know, for people who have trespassed against us, it's time for us to wake up, line it up, according to
Yes.
God's word. We gotta stop playing. We gotta stop saying, I don't know if I believe. That's the devil. That's the devil. And they have a mission with this Christian Zionist. Why in the world would you need to add Christian to already a devil worshiping organization? Because the goal is to convert Christians, believers, into non-believers by way of manipulation, lying. Okay? So we got to wake up. And it is my duty as a Christian. I don't care what color you are. This is not about black or white, red or blue. It ain't about none of that. Everybody, and I do mean everybody, male, female, everybody involved needs to go to jail, prison. Everybody.
Auntie Fee, let me ask you this. How did you feel when did you read the one about Epstein living with the Pope?
All of them, because it is a cover up. But before we knew about all these other people, raping boys, we knew that it was, they were off in there. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So are we more surprised? I'm more surprised with this whole organization than I am about them popes and rabbis and all of that. That's been going on. And they've been justifying it. Then they get slaps on the hand. You know why? Because they all a part of the secret society.
And the religion, this religion stuff is a cover up. The Pope of the Catholic, that's all a cover up. Religion has always been their cover up, Auntie Fee.
Right, because it's rough. Oh my God, Tasha, I could go so deep off into this, but it is Rothschilds. It's just the Rothschilds. And all this 1948 Israel created. Don't tell me nothing about Israel pro 1948. That's how we got to look at it. Instead of saying, oh, it's in the Bible. No, they have crafted it to look like that's what it's supposed to be about. Why they're stealing and unaliving. It's a deflection. It's intentional. They think they God.
Thank
you. You understand?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They do.
So when we hear Israel, you have to put 1948. So we know if it's 1948, we know that it is not what God is speaking of in the Bible. Does that make sense?
Amen.
It was created. This Israel was about stealing of land. This was about a deed, right? That was granted by the British. Let's go. We got to understand this. How can we protect ourselves? He said because lack of knowledge. So we gotta get knowledge of what's really going on. So if it's 1948, it's not God. So what are we fighting for? Why is our money going over there? Now you got Jared Kushner over there, quiet as a church house mouse. Apart, making deals and building the new Gaza. This man has all but went in Dallas and put in front of the JFK who tried to stop this a long time ago, and now it's Donald J. Trump and JFK Plaza. What?
Yeah. Let's go, Auntie Fee. I knew you was gonna come. That's why I dropped the link.
My God, I'm just so disturbed. I really am. And I have to tell people I had a meltdown. I have to let people know how disturbing, hurtful, and painful it is in my heart to know that I may have contributed a dime. So I hear us talking about Jamie. Jamie, I don't even want us really to be deflected. If they ain't said that he had something to do with kids, because truth be told, they said that Diddy did that to him. Everybody that wants to tell on something something happens to them, or they disappear, or they unalive themselves, allegedly.
Yeah.
It's a pattern.
It's facts.
I believe Quincy Brown, what's his name? Albie's son is who leaked that video to 50 Cent because he knows that Diddy had something to do with his mama being unalive.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We got to pay attention to the patterns. There are patterns.
And you know, Quincy ain't being, and you know that what's his name from Zeus Network, Lemmy Plummer is gonna do he got a documentary with the son, the other two sons of Diddy's coming out, but you ain't heard none from Quincy.
Well, you know, it's funny that only Quincy is the only one of the sons, are the ones who lived in that house who haven't been affiliated with some type of SA charges.
So hey, you so right. You so right.
He the only one. So we gotta pay attention, and we got to stop saying, "Oh, they don't have nothing to do with us." Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. We got to stop that, because that's what they expect for us to do. And that's why we keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe, and we don't find out, or we don't catch up to what's going on until it's too late. Okay. I'm gonna hop down so you can keep your show going, Tasha, but thank you. I'll be trying to send you stuff, because I know eventually you gonna say, come on now.
Yeah, you know I am. How do you, before you leave, how do you feel about Nicki Minaj? Is this a deflection for the melanated community? Is she a deflection?
Well, Trump has always, if we think about it, he has always used the rap industry to be the face for the Black people.
Absolutely.
And if I can be honest about the connection, long time ago, 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I even indirectly, when we talk about the higher ups, even when it went back to Mo3 and Dolph, which is how I got here, right? I had already did the research on why it's always the rappers and his connection with the rappers. So I knew when I would always say the higher ups, I knew Trump would be at the top of that. I knew it now. And I knew that human trafficking was going to be in it. Now, did I think about the full spectrum of what's going on now? No, I didn't. I had no earthly idea. But I knew that human trafficking was involved. Okay. And I knew that Trump would be at the top because he always go to the rappers, the Black rappers, to be the face, to pull in the Black vote. So if Jay-Z and Diddy and, that whole, all of them people who have been involved with the playing with the kids, going to the second stage of those all white parties where any and everything goes, the putting Mickey's, in the drinks, taking pictures, why they not, all of that type of stuff. I knew that the connection of it. So right now, all of those people are scared to say something. They scared to be a face. They didn't even want to step out for Diddy. They sure don't want to touch it right now with Trump, right? Oh no, they don't want to say nothing because they know they up in there, right? But right now, Nicki Minaj, her family, her brother, her husband, she tied up in there, and she's an illegal immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
So she needs okay. So she needs a way out, right? She needs some leverage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she decided to be a face. Because what does she have to lose?
Let's go.
Everybody else don't want to touch her. She need a favor. She needs a favor. And they said what he gave her, the hope, she fell for the banana in the tailpipe too. Because what he told her, he didn't give her what she thought she had. It was a prop. She thought she had a pass. And she found out she had nothing. So she got played. Silly rabbit. Trick shot for kids.
Let's go. And it's definitely time to wake up. I agree with you 100%. For the life of me, I keep saying to my people, I understand why Black people aren't waking up to what's really happening. And I thought, like, you know, when you having your meltdown yesterday, I thought long and hard too about it yesterday. You know, I was reading them files and I almost cried when I got to like maybe the fourth one. And I couldn't, for the life of me, I was just disturbed. My soul was disturbed, worse than me doing some of these cases. And
the breeding, and they had a whole breeding. They had people that they don't kidnap, and they wanted to use them for breeding, just to have these babies for sacrifice.
And did have babies. They did. Some of them did have babies.
Mm-hmm. They had a whole breeding farm. That Zorro ranch, I don't even know because they don't talk about it, but word is it that's where the breeding lab was going to be. And Epstein is still alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I thought the breeding lab was down in New Mexico on the ranch.
That's the Zorro. Is that the Zorro ranch?
Yes.
Yeah, but they haven't really did full investigation on it for some reason. They didn't talk much about it like they talked about the other island.
They didn't, and I wonder why.
But a lot goes on in Epstein Island. You know that Disney, Ghislaine Maxwell was the talent scout. John Benet Ramsey. She was a talent scout for Disney. So that blue and white, that's Disney. That's why. What's her name? Ellen DeGeneres or whatever her name is. The freak. Ellen, the freak. She gone. She left the country. Why?
Yeah.
Clooney. He left the country. Trump gave him the finger to say he was a loser. Yeah, because he done told something and then left the country.
Yeah. And
now Trump want to be at war with friends. Why? Because that's where Clooney is.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. We got to pay close attention. We got to pay attention. So he freaking out right now because them Epstein. Baby, let me tell you something. I want to say who he afraid of right now is Sasha Riley.
Why do you think he's so afraid of Sasha Riley?
Because Sasha Riley has intel that a lot of even the kids don't have, because his foster father, who adopted him just to groom him into this organized crime, was a pilot. He was also a sheriff. So he was the pilot for trafficking for Trump. He is also listed as Bill Riley instead of William Riley in Virginia's deposition. So the medical, why he has to wear a diaper is because of Sasha Riley. Now, my intellect, now I don't know this, but I do not know. This is just kind of something ain't right here. I think if once the research is done, I would not be surprised if Sasha Riley once lived in Minnesota. Because Trump is looking for somebody in Minnesota. Nowhere have ICE have they been kicking in doors. You hear me? Does,
Mm.
does that make sense? Where else?
Yeah.
They've been to Chicago, they've been to Memphis, they've been to Portland. Never have they been kicking in doors looking for somebody. They didn't
Right.
start kicking in doors until Sasha Riley voice recording started going viral, and him sticking a stake, a tent stake up in his rear end, talking about the unaliving, all of this. And his daddy is connected to Trump and Epstein.
I gotta look into him for my next one.
Oh my God. Sasha Riley, the uproar right now in the reveal is Sasha Riley. And you know, it's yeah. And I'm gonna say, before I go, it was because at first it kind of just seemed like there was a girl by the name of Sammy. Okay. And his dad cut off her toes because her dream was to be a dancer. They tortured her.
What was her name, Auntie?
Samantha. He has a tattoo of her on her tippy toes. Samantha. He called her Sammy. Black girl. Yeah. And he tatted Sammy on him. And she is like a ballerina, black girl on her tiptoes. I mean, this is some of the craziest stuff. It's just crazy. So keep doing your thing. I really appreciate it. I love it when it is content that we, the people, need to dive into, and not just necessarily trying to find fault in the truth. Embrace the truth. Stand up for the truth. Recognize it for what it is. It is spiritual warfare. It's between good and evil. It's by God and the devil. And that is the reason why they're trying to create a new world. What did God say he was going to do? What? Prepare a place for what? So now they over there in Israel, fake Israel, 1948 Israel, creating a what? See the symbolism?
Yes.
They mocking the Bible. They mocking the end of the Bible. The spiritual warfare.
I've been said that, Auntie Fee. I don't think I got as deep as you just did into it, but for sure. They want to know who's the guest speaker. This is Auntie Fee about the facts. Auntie Fee, I dropped her link in the chat, so make sure y'all tap in to Auntie Fee. She touches on everything she's saying up here. She talks about on her channel. Trust me, she's on this right now on her channel. So y'all tap in with Auntie Fee. If y'all need her link again, I'll drop it real quick. Auntie Fee.
Before I go, I tapped into last night, late and kind of let it run, about the fallen angels and the Antarctic. I think I've heard Trump break up the Antarctic here recently. And I'm like, Lord, oh my God. Yeah.
I just talked about that the other day, Auntie Fee. I talked about that like 3-4 days ago. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
It was just like a quick little live I did, but I did talk about it. I tapped into it.
Okay, I'm just saying. Well, thank God, because I did yesterday, and I did off of Candace Owens. They say that girl is crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with her, and I respect her because she was a Zionist. She was a part of the cult. She got out. So why would we try to say something wrong with her? She made it out of the cult.
She was very much.
What you say?
She was very much into the cult.
Very much so.
Everybody don't get out. And she's speaking out. And you notice when they speak out like this, something always happened to them. Or they said they deemed to be crazy. Like Kanye, when he tried to come up out of You know what I'm saying? He done sacrificed his mama. He done did all his, did his blood oath and stuff. And once they try to come out of it, they are deemed crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with Kanye.
No, he was a part of the MK Ultra, so they was trying to mind manipulate him. Where is Jay-Z and Beyonce son?
You never seen him.
Now, the little girl recently, within the last year, 2025 was the first time she started bringing her on stage, singing that song like she loves the little, something's wrong with her. You can tell, bless her heart. I'm not surprised everything that we're finding out that the parents have been into, but where's the little boy?
I'll wait. I've been said that.
I mean, and we the people need to start asking that, putting it out front. Just like Sasha Riley, they didn't want to touch Sasha Riley. You had to make him. You had to make him viral. Where Sasha Riley? What about Sasha? Now that they don't even want you to break up, where is Jay-Z, twin little boy? You hear more about the DNA son than you hear about his real son. Where is he? Was he sacrificed?
Because look, that's what I said. That's what I brought up the other day, Auntie V, because I said everybody always wanted to know about that fight on that elevator. And I said, I honestly think, to me, my opinion, and this is my opinion, that I really think that they wanted to sacrifice Solange's son versus their own. That was just my opinion, and you know what I'm saying? They wanted to sacrifice. So what do you think it was?
I thought it was about cheating, but right now I wouldn't be surprised about nothing.
That you brought up that son is just coincidental that you brought up their twin son that we never see. But I thought about that elevator fight, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking about DC Young Fly, his baby mother, and because once Nicki had that outburst, it brought a lot of stuff to light about the sacrificing, you know what I'm saying, the children and all of that. And now with you bringing that up, I look.
I mean, we need to know, where's the son? Just like we need to know where the little white girl Ava was that Diddy was kissing out on the side of her face, saying that he was adopting her, just like he started
Nobody's seen her since.
Just like Demi Moore. He started naming some other people, Madonna, just like them. So he's letting you know that they were doing it. They are part of buying the kids and adopting these kids just like them. And so he did it to Ava.
Absolutely. I said what happened to her. I said, where's the little girl at? Where's she at? You see the twins? He adopted her. Where is she at?
Yeah, he sold her. He sold her. He did whatever he did to her, and he sold her. They're into auctioning. And the little video that I put up with Jay-Z and Ivanka, because she was a madam too, with Ghislaine Maxwell. Diddy and Jay-Z had their own little auction thing. There's a little video out there. It's been out there. That Jay-Z had a hotel room or a room with some girls in there, and Diddy walked up. Yeah. So they've been doing the same thing that Trump is doing, just on another scale for the rappers.
She said, Stephanie said Candace has recently admitted that she thinks she had a handler, but didn't know it at the time. Same man that mentored Charlie Kirk. Last name, Prager. Big scientist, controlling, turning point.
And what's his name? Charlie was tied to Jerry Falwell. So the cover up with the turning point and all that is the evangelical Christians. They are really organized crime with raping of kids, trafficking through the churches. Yeah, so our tithes and offering.
Queen Judah, let me ask you this. Just because I have an autistic son, and with autism being so big in in the all communities now and being more heard of. When you think Beyonce would not have her son hidden, because who hides their kids? Hell, it's people with kids with Down syndrome with worse disabilities, and we show our children. So why
Well,
would you feel like why she's not an activist for autism? Why we don't hear her talking and speaking on autism, being that she's a celebrity, she's one of the biggest artists out there, and she could be very monumental in the autism world. You know what I'm saying? She said B's ashamed of her children.
well, hold up now. Hold up. Because they both have autism. We see Rami, whatever her name is. She brings her out on stage and she look at her and like she's singing to her, and the girl, the Blue, stands behind her mama ready to snatch her away when she gets out of hand. Yeah. Pay attention. So if they both have autism, then swap them out. One time the girl goes on stage, and one time the boy goes on stage. Or let's just say because Beyonce brings the girl on stage when Jay-Z performs, why he don't bring his son on stage?
Exactly.
If they both got art, what's the difference? If you can show the face of one, they're twins, right? Then you can show the face of the other. It's intentional. I'm not making excuses for none of it. She would have been better off not bringing neither one of them up there. Well, why one? Where's the other?
In the same way, we never seen her pregnant with. She wasn't ashamed to show her pregnancy bump with the twins, but nobody never seen that with Blue. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever seen that with Blue.
I think I did. I think I saw her swole.
Did you see her swole with Blue?
Yeah,
I never saw her pregnant with Blue.
Yeah, I saw her. I was something going on with her feet or her ankles or something. But I don't think that she was as comfortable with herself with Blue Ivy as she was with them twins. At that point, she was established.
Yeah, okay.
But where is the son? Do we even remember his name?
I don't.
You know why? Because we don't.
I don't forget about him till you said something. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking about Blue and the little girl, because where she does bring her on stage now. So I forgot all about him, Auntie P, till you really just said so. I'm going to just be honest.
Exactly. And nobody questions him. He's out of sight, out of mind. And we can't say because he has some issues, because the little girl does too. You can look at her and tell. Her fidgety.
They said his name is Sir.
Sir. Thank you. When's the last time we seen Sir? What does Sir even look like?
Leisure said allegedly that little boy is in a home. See what I'm saying? Allegedly the little boy is in a home. You know, like, come on, they got all the money to get the car in their own home for him to be in a home. You get what I'm saying? Let's think about it.
He is seriously in somebody else's home, or he is buried in somebody's grave. He is probably been sold to somebody to be, sacrificed, like I said. Where is he? Has there ever been a recent family portrait? He don't get to go to the games. He don't get to hang out with dad.
Why bring one twin and shun the other one out instead of letting them, even if it's for one show? You know what I'm saying? One show, bring the twins out to make him feel included. You get what I'm saying? It just because you got men up there dancing just as well as you do women. So why can't he be included into a show?
Right. I'm just saying we got to stay woke. And with what's going on right now, everybody, please, we got to stop making excuses. We got to look for facts, not rumors. They say he in the institution. One, why would he have to be there? And I mean, they rich, right?
Come on, hell yes. Why can do that in home
have a nanny? Yeah, you can have he can have his own little what's they call in-law house. I mean, he could have his own little over there, and his whole live-in nanny, child care. I
They
don't
say
think they
he's
have him.
more autistic, and I get that he's more autistic, but they have all this money to, you know what I'm saying? And why isn't Beyonce an activist for an
Okay.
like a all
Let,
out speaker for autism? You know what
let
I'm
me
saying?
let me pump the brakes on who I can't see who talking. I can't. And no disrespect to nobody. Please don't take it. My heart goes out to all of the kids, male, female, teenagers, everybody who have been victimized. Not just the Epstein files. Everybody. Your friends, your family members, your mom, your grandmama, you. My heart goes out to every victim. I'm not making not now excuse for a predator. I'm not going to fill in the blanks for him. I'm going to be an advocate. I'm going to stand firm for every victim of SA. I don't care who did it. So let's be clear. I'm standing in the gap for every victim. Victims should not have to go through ridicule. A victim should not have to prove themselves. A victim should not have, I'm talking about real victims. I'm not talking about somebody who lying. I'm talking about real victims. We need to stand solid for real victims. We have family members who still under the fucking rug and nobody pulls them as a kid or whatever age they was victimized or betrayed. Nobody pulls them from up under the rug. I hate the rug. I hate the rug. So I'm not making excuses for none of them. But let me say this. Shout out to Toni Braxton. Her son was artistic. She refused to accept it. She worked with her son. She didn't hide him. She never hid her son. She stood in the paint for him publicly. So if Toni Braxton can do it, so can Jay-Z and Beyonce. They don't get a pass. They do not get a pass. It's a wellness check. Where is Sir? Where is Sir? Sir could be in a basement in their house being abused. Where is Sir? Sir needs to surface. And that's the bottom line. I ain't making excuses for none of these PDFers. And we should neither. And if you know that you have been victimized, stand firm. Come out and stand firm. You don't maybe not have to tell your story, but you stop making excuses for the predator. That's a sickness. That's a part of the MK Ultra. That's why Trump says that he can do what he do right in front of our faces and the people will still stand and account for him and say he didn't do it. He's counting on people to do that for him. Blinders are off. We can no longer act like we have blind eyes. And that's just how I feel about it. So I apologize if I offended anybody. I am so very sorry. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. My heart aches for what is being exposed right now for the victims. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine thinking about somebody I know and love going through that.
Amen to that. She said, the
Yeah.
real Alicia Barnes, she said, amen, my autistic son needs justice. A pedophile hurt him and still no arrest.
Bless you, baby. That's what I'm talking about right there. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. Because when we stand up and stand firm and we want justice for all the victims. And I don't care what color they are. I don't care. Because when we all have to stand before God, he ain't going to ask us nothing about none of that. He going to ask you about your heart. He going to ask you about your truths.
Mm.
Okay, Tasha, I gotta go. Thank you so very much. I
You're
mean,
welcome. Thank
I
you.
done had a dang. It's 2 days in a row. I done had a meltdown. You
Oh,
understand? This it's okay. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not
yeah,
having a meltdown for myself. I'm having a meltdown for the victims.
yeah,
See the difference? It's not about me. I can honestly say I've not been victimized. So my hurt and pain, my heart aches for everybody, people I do not even know, people I know, and a lot of them that I do not know. That's
yeah,
unconditional love. You understand? That's
yeah,
unconditional. I don't know these people. I don't have no attachment to it. That's how we got to get. And now that we know that we really are in the times, we got to get our life together.
yes.
Them fallen angels are thawing. They frozen in the Antarctic, so they say, but the ice is melting.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you, Tasha. Mwah.
Thank you. Love you, Auntie. Love you to death. Um, yeah, and Aurora, you're right. They're not obligated to show their children. But what Auntie Fee was explaining that, when we got Nicki Minaj and them coming out saying about these rituals and stuff, it just kind of makes you look into things deeper than what they was presenting it to be. That's all we was up here saying. It's not saying, "Ooh, show us the baby. Ooh, where your kid." No, nobody has to. But just being a voice, because I have an autistic son myself. My oldest son is autistic, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not saying that there's people that's not, but being an advocate, and like she said, Tony Braxton has been an advocate for years. The celebrities, for some reason, have a bigger voice that hits different when they speak of things. And with her being so huge in the industry, hearing that from her, I think would definitely help other people that's dealing with children of autism, is all I'm saying. And I heard you and praying for you that you deal with 4 different levels of autism, because I follow the little boy from my hometown, Lexington, Kentucky. His mother's very big on TikTok and a YouTube channel, and he just had an episode. He was doing so good, and she said, "I get it. Just think if he's shown, he'll still be talked about." And that's true, Aurora. It will be. You know what I'm saying? It definitely will be. But I followed him, and he was doing so good with his treatments, and he just had a bad episode where he was fighting the mama, kicking the mama, broke all the windows, ripped the curtains, kicked the door completely down. And I am praying for her so hard and stuff. She has a big following, but a following doesn't help if we're not using our voices as parents of children with autism. Because we give up on it so much. We give up on ourselves, because having a child of autism is a lot. JD, yep, it's JB, yes. He just had an episode over the weekend. He busted it. He broke the windows and stuff. She just moved in this house. They haven't had water due to the ice storm and stuff. Yeah. So JB's not using safe hands right now. He's really having an episode, and people was like, "Hell no, don't let him do that." But nobody, he doesn't understand anything else. He's in his own world. His mind doesn't think like ours. Just my son didn't like noise at all. I don't understand how Ty would hear the TV on 1 or 2, but he still doesn't like noise. He hates when sirens, he hates it at his age. And I didn't know he was still affected until about a year ago. And the sirens came in when he covered his ear. I didn't know sirens still bothered you. And he was like, yeah, he doesn't like confusion. He doesn't like drama. He doesn't. He doesn't. It throws him off, and he doesn't like it. Yeah, his mama's real patient, Royal Golden. She is just a breath of fresh air. I'm praying for her and stuff, and I'm so glad that her kids, that the older siblings have stepped in and are helping her and stuff. But y'all pray for JB's mother. She's really going through it, and she still managed, go watch her. Everybody go follow her. Please go follow her. TT, if you got her link, you could drop it in here for mothers with autism. Go follow her. She is just, her strength dealing with that, just moving a new home. Now she's got to replace doors, and she's like, when I get the money, and stuff. So just a single mother trying to maintain and can't have an outside life. When you dealing with autism, you really don't have a life, because your life really surrounds your children, and that's it. If you can even go to work, you know what I'm saying? If they're in a day program, if they can survive in that kind of placement, because all kids with autism can't be in those kind of programs. They have to be in different spaces and places. So yes, she said, yep. So was, Holly Robinson Peets. Yes, she did have one. Yes, I saw that. I have kids in my family, and she doesn't like any of that either. Yeah, Julie, it's hard. It's hard. But he was always a straight A and B student. He came in third place in a science fair for Americans. He built a plane, and he did so much, and he was always drawing, like when he was angry. All his stuff came out in art. And I got to show you guys. I'm going to show you guys some pictures of his drawings and stuff. Like he didn't sketch anything. He drew it. Cartoons that he watched. He was amazing. He was amazing. And I just sent him his pictures because my daughter actually found my mother in her death. I love you, mama. But my daughter went to her closet, was going through her closet, and she still had all my son's drawings, you guys, from before we knew what his diagnosis was and stuff. So it did something to me to see my daughter, that my mother held on to that and tucked them away, that we still had that. So, but again, prayers to you guys and stuff. Thank you, TT, for dropping her link. So anybody want to check out JB's story and the mother that deals with autism, there goes her link and stuff. And again, I'm like Auntie Fee, praying for you mothers that deal with children with autism. I understand. It was hard. I couldn't take it. I wasn't a mother that could take it. So my mother raised my son. I didn't know how to deal with him, addicted to drugs and stuff. So yeah, I didn't have the ability to raise my autistic son, So to each his own. They're very intelligent. Girl, he was smart. Hey, baby, to this day, I be testing him too, Royal Golden. Trust me. I be testing his ass on games I can't be. I be like, hey, let me send you this game. Let me know. But back to the Epstein, Donald Trump trying to hide the Epstein files. I'm glad you guys are seeing firsthand what it was with this monster. They're saying Epstein was the monster, but Trump is the monster. I want you guys to know that Donald Trump is the monster. And it's quick to point out everybody else's trauma and everybody else's pedophilia but his own. See, you can't move forward. The curse is always going to be there because he won't take accountability and accept that he's a monster. Okay?
It would be years before the true extent of his depravity would be revealed.
Thank you.
By then, Donald Trump says he had cut him off.
For years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. Yeah, he stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out.
However the friendship soured, it's now under renewed scrutiny after President Trump backflipped on an election promise to release the so-called Epstein files.
He said he did something inappropriate. I'm thinking he's great to say about the kids. He said he stole workers from me, and then he did it again. What? Trump was on the island with Nikki's husband, child. We see the protection is running deep for Nick. Royal? We see the protection. I'm mad I can't remember her name. But yeah, Nicki Minaj is now teamed up with Donald Trump in coming for people like Jay-Z, who we've heard his name before. Should be nothing new to us that Jay-Z's name is coming up. It's not the first time. It's not. It's really not. But we gotta wonder, why now is the question. Why are we hearing about babies being sacrificed now?
What is it about the Epstein case, these promised files, that's so alluring, so fascinating to Trump's followers and his detractors?
There were a lot of unanswered questions. How did he make so much money? Why were all of these influential people, from Bill Gates to Bill Clinton to Donald Trump, why did they all hang out with him? What exactly was he up to? And you have these real legitimate victims.
He didn't, Stephanie.
Will Summer is a seasoned political reporter and author. He says this issue has captivated Trump's Make America Great Again movement like no other.
I mean, Trump supporters see Jeffrey Epstein as
the
devil. I mean, they see him as an incredibly evil figure. And to be fair, I mean, I think they're correct. But they also see him as perhaps as someone who was the key to this larger network. This guy who was, in their belief, providing young girls to world elites.
Many believe the names of who was in that network lie within the Epstein files. More than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence of the vile crimes committed against more than 1,000 girls and young women. Some, like the flight logs from his private plane.
Over 1,000, you guys. Over 1,000. And don't forget, Auntie Fee is covering Trump as well, Sherry. She's covering the Candace Owens part into everything. So that's why I said for everybody to go check Auntie Fee out. She was just up on the panel with me. But Aurora correct about the massage. That was down in Florida with Trump. That's kind of where I don't think that's where it started with him, but it definitely plays a big part. And one of those girls came up missing allegedly, that was in the Florida part of it. She did come up missing. I don't know if it was the girl that started the massages or not, but one of those victims did come up missing. Imagine over 1,000 girls, and imagine Epstein having that ranch down in New Mexico where it was for breeding. And it wasn't older women having children. This was children having children. A portal to evil is wide open. Okay, Julie, I get it. Hey, Miss Veek, what's going on? You're welcome, Sherry.
Dubbed the Lolita Express have already been made public, but any kind of client list remains elusive. Earlier this year, though, the president was told his name appears in the files several times. It's not clear in what capacity, but the revelation has added to the intrigue about why he won't make them public. In a sense, is that part of why this has become such a big problem for Trump? Because on one hand, his supporters who see Jeffrey Epstein as the devil, see Trump as the man who's going to bring it all to light and expose it all and bring it all down. But then on the other hand, he's clearly involved.
It's something that's very hard for them to figure out. And I think this is why this moment has been so challenging for Trump, because they were able to ignore, decades old video footage. But now that you have this more information about their relationship coming to light. And then the biggest obstacle, which is that Trump really seems to be hiding something. And so as a result, people, even Trump supporters, are starting to say, geez, this is really suspicious.
Maria Farmer is certainly suspicious, not just because of her experience with the now president, but because she alerted authorities years ago.
Let me read this one. Blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 or 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting Donald Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. At age 16, while modeling, Caller attended 8 parties at Epstein's New York residence. On one occasion, Caller reported she was sexually assaulted by Epstein. On another occasion, 2 twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, lured a Caller and her friends upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Caller stated Orrin raped her best friend, and a third brother, Tal, raped her 14-year-old girl named Katie LNU. Caller named other individuals involved in the big orgy parties with her younger girls. And older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Online complaints reported she was a victim and a witness to sex trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California between 1995 and 1996. Complaint reported Ghislaine Maxwell as the madam and broker for sex parties, clients of whom included Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complaints reported participating in orgies and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complaint reported being threatened by Trump's, the head of security, that if she ever talked of what went on there or who she saw, she would end up as fertilizer for the black 9 holes like the other cunts. Y'all heard what I said. They said she would end up like fertilizer like the other girls in the 9 hole like the other cunts. Complainant claims to have video of high-profile sex parties dealing with cartels and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle 4 girls to death at a party. Claims he was contacted by a female victim of Epstein's who wanted to publish a book. Complainant provided background for himself, such as working with prominent figures such as Leslie Wexner and Epstein, being pardoned by a U.S. president, among several other pieces of information. The victim reportedly known about criminal activity that occurred in multiple states and on airplanes, and told complainant there were films of prominent men such as Epstein, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and that Ghislaine Maxwell is in the videos as well. So I just wanted to read you guys some and get back to the video, but it is stated that girls were strangled, that the cartel that they would have orgies and sex with, that they would end like they had strangled a few of the girls to death and stuff, and that they had been threatened that if they would ever say anything about the orgies, that she would end up like the other girls that was buried in the 9 holes and called a cunt.
She was the first of Jeffrey Epstein's victims to sound the alarm, contacting the FBI in 1996 and documenting it in her diary at the time.
And I just remember trying to explain to this man at the FBI that children are in severe danger. And so I told him, I said, listen, I'm calling to report an international pedophile and child porn ring. This is a federal crime.
And it wasn't only Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell she mentioned.
I said, and there's this, I said, cheesy. And I said, I can't remember if I described him as a game show host or used car salesman or something like that. But I said, he's a prominent businessman. He's a New York fixture. And they said, oh, Donald Trump. The FBI guessed based on that brief description that I was discussing Donald Trump.
Her complaint wasn't taken seriously then or in 2006 when she repeated her allegations to federal authorities who were finally investigating Jeffrey Epstein. So when President Trump vowed to get to the bottom of the Epstein saga, Maria was cynical.
I reported him because I knew he was part of this gang. I didn't know on what level. I just knew that he was very much a part of it.
And as you'll see, the president's reluctance to be transparent has, for the first time, turned his supporters against him.
I expected files to be released and people that deserve to be held accountable.
In Washington, D.C., political scandals come and go, and no one's better at shaking them off than President Trump. But the case of the Epstein files has stuck like mud. Is this the biggest crisis of the Trump administration so far?
It is the biggest crisis, yes. I would say that the Trump administration is really out of step here and they don't know what to do.
Political reporter and author Will Summer has watched the president try unsuccessfully to contain the Epstein saga. Will says it's a mess of Trump's own making after Republicans politicised the story.
I mean, Epstein was a huge issue. I mean, it was one of the major issues of the Trump campaign. I mean, they would go on these podcasts, on TV shows, and so people bring it up a lot. And they say, you know, are you going to be the one who finally figures out what happened to Epstein? How did he die? Who was he associated with? I think a lot of people really believe Trump would do it. So he's kind of hoisted on his own petard here. I mean, he revved up this base, and now when they're asking for what he promised them, he's refusing to deliver.
Man, you guys tap into this. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop the link for you guys to go look up the Epstein files for yourself. I want to come back and really get more in tune to the files, but I want to drop the link so you guys can go see this for yourself. I don't want you guys to think I'm reading anything that's not here. And they're pretty gruesome. They're real gut wrenching. Hey, Precious, happy Thursday. I just dropped the link to the Epstein files, you guys. Make sure you guys, Trump's first term that had military pulling people out of the park in New York during COVID, and they were making oxygen machines for the people they were bringing out, and they were dying instantly. You guys will see in the Epstein files the conversation of the COVID from Bill Gates himself. They're scary to read. They're gruesome. The pictures are even worse. And things like that. I dropped Misunderstood's link as well because she talks about Donald Trump as well on her channel. I know we don't want to have these conversations, but they have to be had. I know we're not woke in all areas and stuff, and we all have different views and opinions, and I value each of y'all opinions. I don't want y'all to think I'm being harsh or nothing just because I'm talking about something, and I think that's a problem. I think that people want you to see their side of things, and it's got to be a one-sided conversation. Or if you're not talking about how they see things, they don't want to hear it. They'll unsubscribe. They don't like you, and that shouldn't be the case. Like, my views and opinions aren't yours. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not mad about y'all views and opinions on any situation or case. This is just conversation and dialogue. And I appreciate Auntie Fee for hitting the link as well. I also dropped other links, you guys, because I'm going to be covering some stuff with Tyrone Davis Jr. And the Lulu situation. I'm going to be doing that. Diddy was never alone. Y'all stay woke. Yes, Gates are in the file too. His wife doing a lot of talking. Ex-wife. Man, Stephanie, this, you don't even know what to, it ain't got a beginning, Stephanie. That's the thing about the files. They don't have a fucking, it's like you'll get to something so deep you'll be like, what this is huge. And I see why Donald Trump didn't want it to get out. And you guys check out the 60-minute episode. I'm gonna drop it also. Let me drop it in the chat, the 60-minute video. I'm gonna drop a couple. The Virginia Dufresne. I want you guys to check that out as well. I'm ready to drop that link in the chat. I want to drop a couple of these links in the chat. So for those that don't understand what's going on with the Epstein files, you can kind of look at these videos and then understand where a lot of stuff is coming from. That's one. Here goes another one. Check out these videos and stuff. And again, yeah, they're all in this together. Yeah, Ellen, Oprah. Y'all gotta think too why he hates what's her name? Rosie O'Donnell. What if y'all ask Donald Trump, any journalist today ask Donald Trump who does he hate the most, he will say Rosie O'Donnell. She's been speaking against this for years. She's been speaking and saying this for years, but nobody ever paid her attention. The threats that was brought against her and her family. I think Rosie O'Donnell even had to move out of the country, if I'm not mistaken. This is why we have to stop red rumming each other. My God, we gotta stop. We need unity. We are greater than, yeah, yes, and that's the truth, Precious, for real. Thank you guys that supported the channel by getting a super sticker, super chat, grabbing a membership, or that even show me that y'all been having our membership for quite some time. Thank you. Hit that like button, not for me, but for the victims, all victims across the world, children that are still being victimized, as children in other countries that are being married and impregnated right now at the ages of 9 and 10 years old, who don't even understand that they've been sold off, don't understand the life and the cards that have been dealt to them at this moment. For our missing children that I do believe are a part of this Epstein Donald Trump ring, my beliefs that a lot of the missing children, this is where it stemmed from. I also cannot wait to see if they're going to bring up the ranch down in New Mexico where the kids was breeding for Epstein for his own sick reasons. Children was being breeded down there. And when y'all go back and y'all read the Epstein files, also get to the journal of the one young lady. Her journal is so gut wrenching. It is so, her journal is just, it's almost like those files aren't real once you read the horror in them. Even with Bill Gates and all of them, it's crazy that it's there. Hey, Miss Michelle, thank you so much. It's crazy, and I can't believe what we read now. I cannot believe all the shit that was happening, all the involvement, all the cover up, and that Donald Trump is still the president of the United States of America. If that ain't waking us up, hey, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else anybody will want to read or hear. If those files don't make you wake up to say, how is this orange man still president of the United States? What's really going on, man? Say, Ellen done aged 20 years, something's worrying her. Yeah. Hey, Chrissy Cakes. Yeah, it's worrying her, Stephanie. It's worrying her real bad, ain't it? It would worry me too. It would worry me too. I'm trying to tell y'all what I know. I ain't got to go. It's so many pages. I think in all actuality, it'll probably take a year for us to read everything. It will probably take a year for what they have given us. It will probably take a year. And like Auntie Fee said, gaining understanding of the symbolism of things. Y'all got to understand the codes, what the word pizza means in those files. Y'all got to go and get the codes for those pizza. I think pizza is kids, like, or some, I don't know what all the codes. I ain't even got to get all the codes and stuff, but it's a lot of codes in there, and y'all got to go over there to get the codes for what they were saying. They had the word comfortable. excitement, different. So certain words mean codes. Wonder if Jarvis is in there. Oh my God, Latasha. Yes, because she definitely said something about the pizza to Diddy on national TV. Yes, TT. I forgot what pizza means. I got the codes in my phone, but they'll have the codes in there for you to read. So make sure you remember what those codes mean, because it's a lot of codes. They all stand for something in the files. I will check you guys out tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow is Kim Porter's Day, y'all. We are getting into it. We are going to stick to these pedophiles, what they was really hiding, but we're going to go behind the eyes of Kim Porter and what she saw. And also, I want to get a clip of, I think I got a clip of Al B. Sure speaking out about some things and how he felt with hot dog sauce. Man, Matt means great. Pizza means boy, I think. Yeah, pizza means something. And I couldn't believe it. When I even seen the codes for the stuff, TT, y'all, I was Juliana out, baby. When I seen the codes, I was like, this means okay. Like, shit. It gives you chills, don't it? Ugh, just poor kids. The poor kids, y'all. The poor kids. The poor kids. All I can say is the poor kids. But tomorrow at 2:00 we're doing Kim Porter, and then at 6 I'm gonna go on and change the timing for my 6:00 live, because I'm gonna do it tomorrow and stuff like that, so we can have our wine time and stuff. And then at 8:00 tomorrow I'm gonna do a Naziah Harris live, and stuff like that, getting the mediums, bringing back some of the mediumship that was told. I think I might hit Candace, do one of Candace Starr, what she had to say, and then get into the new spiritual reader that just came forward and what she had to say. So I'm doing 2, 6, and 8 tomorrow. So get y'all wine ready, and we're gonna chill and we're gonna break some stuff down. Then they say he's autistic, and Beyonce don't want him shown. Yeah, that's what they were saying, Corey. I don't know. Me Too and the girl wrote a whole letter coded. Yes, TT, the whole. But you know what? They got, if you go over there, they got some decoders that decoded the letter. So it made me, hers made me cry. Now hers, the journal made me cry. Her journal made me cry. That's when I think I just kind of stopped at that. I stopped at reading her journal, because everybody was talking about her journal. So once I really read her journal, I ain't touched on them since. I ain't really went back and looked at the rest of the files, touched on none of them. I seen Bill Gates, Jamie Foxx for sure. It was said that the little boy was autistic, and someone spoke on it, and she was mad. Yeah, Auntie Fee kind of had her, Auntie Fee had to say about that. She wanted to know where he was, like why he was never seen. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with questioning that, and stuff. And like I said, everybody ain't gonna be happy with how you do things, how you say things. But hey, who am I? Salute everybody. Y'all go enjoy the rest of y'all Thursday. Y'all stay safe out there. It was snowing. I woke up to more snow on the ground. It started snowing today, so it's snowing here in North Carolina. So everybody that's getting off work, be safe on the road. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all still get y'all flashlights, candles, batteries, and water supply and everything like that. Your canned goods. Hey, Bird, what's going on? Happy Thursday and other stuff like that. Other than that, you guys, I'm